So I want to welcome everybody who's here today. And thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to start off with just asking everybody here today, tell me, what does Juneteenth mean to you?
It's truly a day of freedom. It's a day of jubilation. It's a day of celebration when the people in Texas was not informed that they were free. And so Gov was right. It's a day in Colorado that we celebrate on 5 points. It's the coming together of the community. It's a great exchange of culture, of spirit, of the importance of just understanding the importance of what it's like to not to be enslaved and to be free and have access to liberty, justice for all.
I take off on the very last phrase that Senator Fields used. Liberty and justice for all. Well, we have to question that even today. When I think about how much it affects me to understand that I or my ancestors were once considered a piece of property. We were not men and women. We were not human beings. We were chattel. We were things. And it is difficult for me in thinking about Juneteenth to regard it as a celebration. It certainly is a celebration of getting away from that. But at the same time, I think it's important to realize and to commemorate more than celebrate, or just to remember where we came from.
Right.
How far it is we have to go.
Well, Juneteenth is that moment where we recognize the end of slavery, but also to recognize the work that's being done, the work that needs to be done, and trying to make sure that the relevant parts of the community are there and engaged in a well, in the celebration, but in that celebration, making and renewing their commitment that we're not going to accept two systems of justice. We're not going to accept police brutality or the inequities that we see, not just in how police officers function, but we see in housing and healthcare, that we see in education and education outcomes, in jobs and job opportunities. So Juneteenth to me has always been one of those moments of both celebration but also commitment.
So what's next? Where do we go from here? Colorado was a part of creating some of the historic legislation. Where do we go from here, Governor Hickenlooper? What are you proposing? What do we need to do on the federal front to support some of the great things that you've done here in Colorado locally?
And I think we also have to use this as a starting point to really look at all the inequity, because it is all interconnected. And if you allow racism to fester in one part of our society, it spreads everywhere. So we've got to address the inequity in housing. We've got to address the inequity in healthcare. There's a great disparity in this state and in this country. And I think it's long overdue that the U.S. Senate take that on and work with the House to say, all right, this is going to be one nation under God, and that there is going to be equality under the law for everyone.
I was just going to say, I think that the governor outlined it well. There's a pathway forward in reference to what we need to do. He clearly identified all the points that need to be covered, from education to housing to employment to our economy. He's done all of that. He's proven that he can get that done. So I think at this point, we just need to make sure that he's elected to be the next U.S. Senator for the state of Colorado.
A lot of people ask me over the years, what's it like to work with then Mayor Hickenlooper, now Governor Hickenlooper, and hopefully Senator Hickenlooper? I said the thing about him is that he allowed you to do what it is you felt needed to be done. If you ask me the question of what do we do now? What do we need to go forward? It is leadership. Because whatever we do, whatever's being done today and all the changes that are being done, whatever happened and whatever we did in the Hickenlooper mayoral administration, all of this is nothing but a foundation. And unless you have people who are leading to build upon that foundation, to make the changes that are necessary, nothing we do today will have any meaning unless people are in elected positions and in appointed positions who will understand that history and understand how important it is to keep going forward.